going on? It's your girl, Just T. Hope everybody is doing awesome today, y'all. Happy New Year's to everyone. Like OMGs, y'all, we made it to see another year. Yes, ma'am. Y'all, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make, come on, you gonna walk with me, right? Jamaican patties. Jamaican patties. I haven't had Jamaican patties in a while, so I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm about to make some Jamaican patties. And not only am I about to make them, I'm about to show y'all how to make them too. Right? So in order to get this going, y'all, we definitely gonna need, because I'm making beef patties. So we're gonna need some ground beef. And what I have is, I have 80-20. 80% lean, 20% fat. Ground beef, y'all. You can also do the same recipe, follow these same instructions with chicken breasts. You know, you can do the same thing with chicken. And we have some butter. Now you're going to need like 1.5 sticks of butter for this recipe. I don't use butter. I like to use margarine. So I have that same amount that I equaled out to 1.5 sticks of margarine as well. And of course, you're going to need some flour. And I went ahead and put it in my bowl. You're going to need 4 cups of all-purpose white flour. And we're also going to need, now I couldn't find the Scotch bonnet peppers, or AKA habanero peppers, in Walmart. So at home, I just had some jalapenos. So I just cut them up. I just split those down the middle, took the seeds out, the rib out, took that out, and then I just diced those up. Just diced them up, little pieces. And then I also have a half of a bell pepper. I have a half of a small onion that I diced up. And over here on this side, I have green scallions. And I cut up three of those. I'll show you this. Green scallions, some of those. So I just cut up 3 of those. Just diced them up into my, put them in my pan. And then as far as seasonings go, we're going to need, you know your girl got to have that Sassoon, right? Yes, ma'am. Come on, walk with me. Now, I know this does not traditionally go into a Jamaican patty, but this Just T's Jamaican patty. I'm making this my way, y'all. Come on, walk with me. We're also going to be using some black pepper, but again, also going to need some garlic powder. You're also going to be using some allspice. Also going to use some thyme. Now, I would say if you have access to fresh thyme, then fresh is always better. You know, come on, of course, it's better. We're also going to use some paprika. We're going to be using some curry powder. And we're also going to be using some salt. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put this other stuff away, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to get started on this dough right here. Okay, y'all. So we're back, and we're about to get ready to go ahead and get this dough started. You're also going to need, I'm going to start out with 1 cup of very, very cold water, y'all. Y'all want this water to be ice cold, okay? Yes, ma'am, ice cold water. Now, we're not going to pour all this water in at one time. We're only going to pour a little bit by little. And if you want to measure it, you can pour like, I would say like 2 to 3 tablespoons of water in at a time. You don't want to pour this whole thing in, all right? So, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my teaspoon, and I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of curry powder in here. 1 teaspoon of curry. That's going to help give that pastry that nice color that they have. You know, that little yellow color that they got going on. So we're going to put a teaspoon of that in there. And we're also going to put a teaspoon of table salt. Just put a teaspoon of that in there as well. These are going to be so good. And they're like so fun too to make, y'all. I swear, I have fun when I be cooking. I have awesome fun. It'd just be me by myself. I'll be in here lit. So we're going to give this a quick whisk just to mix that curry powder up in there. Now, some people use turmeric. You can use that and curry powder if you want to. But to me too, that's like a strong seasoning as well. It's a strong seasoning. It is. So just want to mix that up a little bit. And I'm going to add this butter in here. Now, if you're using sticks of butter, you want to cut your sticks. You want to cut them, slice them, and put them in. You don't want to just put a whole stick of butter in there. So I'm just putting this butter in here. And you want your butter to be really, really cold as well. Like I said, even with the cold water, you want that water to be cold and you want your butter to be cold. And this, you're going to have to get your hands in there. Going to have to get your hands in there and get them all dirty and stuff. Got to put some love into this bowl, y'all. Come on now. Got to put some love in it. Move this out the way. And then, now we're just going to squish this up. You want to squish it up. Mix that butter up in all of that flour until it's going to like get crumbly. You might make a mess, y'all, because I have flour everywhere. Everywhere. So I'm just mixing this in there. Squeezing it. You want to squeeze it. Squeeze that butter in there because you want it to get crumbly. See how it's crumbling up? You want that whole thing to look like that before you start adding in your water. So just squeeze it. Squeeze it all in there. It's got to get all up in there with it. So you want to do you want it all to be like that. You want that butter to be distributed like all throughout that flour. And you want it to look all crumbly. And you will achieve that. Like I said, just make sure that your butter is nice and cold. See, there we go. See how that butter is all in there and it's looking all crumbly and stuff? That's what we want. So now I'm going to start adding my water in a little bit at a time, y'all. Just a little bit. Just add a cup, like I said, about 2-3 tablespoons and just mix it. Just mix it. Just do a little bit at a time. Because you want this to form a dough ball, basically, like Play-Doh. So you want to and then you don't want to over knead it. Once we get this ball formed, you don't want to over knead that either, because you'll have the wrong texture for your pastries, for your Jamaican patties. So I'm just putting it in there, just trying to get it all mixed up. Just pour a little bit at a time, y'all. I said it's a little messy job. It's a little messy, but it's fun, you know. It's fun, I think, when you make them yourself, you know, because they're good too when you buy them. But I just like to make them because you put your own love into those. And you're taking your time in making it. It ain't like somebody rushed through it and made it like, here, take this Jamaican patty. So that's what I like. That's what I like about cooking, though. I'll pour a little bit more water in here. Well, I can smell that curry in there too, y'all. I can smell it. Just getting this, and it is sticky, y'all. It's gonna be messy. It's gonna be messy. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna mix this up until I get that ball, and then I'm gonna come back because I'm gonna actually use my other hand. So I apologize, but I will show you guys as soon as I come right back. Okay, everybody, we're back. And I finished rolling this. I still got flour and stuff on my hands. OMG. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wash them again. But anyways, I wanted to come back and show you guys the dough before I put it in the refrigerator, because we're gonna cover this up and we're gonna let it sit. Basically, I'm gonna let this sit until I finish getting everything else ready for this. So I'll say let it sit in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes, y'all. 15 minutes to a half an hour. You're gonna cover it up with some saran wrap. Just put some saran wrap on it and just keep it covered up. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna get this ground beef started. All right, but your dough should feel like, you know, like some putty or something. It should feel like putty, or, you know, like, what is that stuff those kids be playing with? You know, I don't know the name of it, but putty. I think that's what it is. Is that putty? But anyways, you will know it's going to be like really gooey kind of feeling. And you want to let that sit, like I said, for about 15 to 30 minutes in the refrigerator, covered up with some saran wrap. And we're about to get going with this meat, y'all. Bye. Okay, y'all, so in here I have my pan, and I am going to add about a tablespoon of This is vegetable oil that I'm using. Oh, I think you guys can see it. You can use vegetable oil, canola oil. I would not use olive oil though. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon of that in there. Just want to get these vegetables sauteed. And so what I'm going to do is, the only vegetables that I'm going to add into this pan are going to be those onions, the onions and the bell peppers. Those, the green scallion, I'm going to keep that in there until last. But I want to get the other ones in there. So I'm just going to put those in here. Might have got a couple of those in here though, because I have them all mixed up in my bowl, but so we're going to let those saute. And now we're going to get that meat mixed up. Okay, so now in this bowl, we're going to add, I have 2 envelopes of sassoon. Y'all know I love sassoon. I'm going to add that right in here. Also going to, where's my measuring spoon? There it is. Also, and I forgot to tell you guys about this minced garlic. I'm so sorry, y'all. Minced garlic, you're going to need, and ketchup. I do apologize. I'm kind of rushing a little bit. But we're going to add some paprika. I'm going to add a teaspoon of that as well. Put that in there. Going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder as well. And if I wasn't putting minced garlic in mine, I would actually put a little bit more garlic powder. But since we're using minced garlic as well, also going to do another teaspoon of that curry powder. Goodness gracious, I don't know what's going there. Those vegetables right here smell awesome. That wasn't quite a teaspoon. And this thyme, we're going to add, now I'm not doing a teaspoon of thyme. That is some fresh stuff right there. Now you guys might like it. You know, you can go ahead and put yourself a teaspoon in there if you want. But I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of thyme. Just because that is strong to me. Really strong. So I'm just going to do a half a teaspoon of that. Then allspice, we're going to use a teaspoon of that. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of allspice in there. They make these a little, I should got the bigger one. Put that in there. And black pepper. I'm going to add a teaspoon of black pepper. Now you don't have to add black pepper in it at all. And also too, if you don't like spicy, then don't even add any type of hot pepper. You know, the jalapenos or those Scotch bonnet peppers that they normally have in them. You don't even have to add those in here. You know, some people don't like that spiciness, so I get it. You don't have to put it in there. And so now I'm going to mix this all up. You know what? I'm going to mix this up with my hand. I ain't trying to be all prim and cute and stuff, you know. So I'm going to mix this up. Now, you don't have to mix yours up with your hands, with your fingers, but when I cook, I like to mix everything in there and get all of my seasonings that I'm using inside all of that meat. Oh, these vegetables smell too good over here, y'all. Oh my God. And now we're going to get ready to put this meat in with these bell peppers and these onions. Okay, y'all. So now we're about to add this ground beef on in here. Let me turn my heat up a little bit. I'm going to put this on high heat, guys. Yes, Lord, on high. So that means you just got to pay attention to your food, right? Just pay attention to it. It's not going to take long at all. Take your hand off real quick so I can grab that spoon. Okay, just wanted to clean my hands very quick. I'm just going to mix this all around. And I'm also going to go ahead and add in that No, I think I'm going to wait a little bit before I add my garlic, minced garlic in there. I'm going to add that in. Probably I'm going to add it in once I add those jalapenos in there, which is going to be kind of toward the last, once this ground beef, when it all browns. So once it all browns, everyone, we're going to come back and we'll get on to the next steps. So I'm just going to let this go ahead and brown. Should not take that long. Like I said, just pay attention to it, because if you are cooking it on high heat, you just want to watch it. Show you guys where we at right now, and it's getting there. It's browning. And also I wanted to let you guys know, when you're cooking this, make sure that you're chopping your ground beef up too, because you don't want it to have big chunks, because remember, this is going to go inside those pastries, you know, once we roll them out. And you don't want big chunks. You want a smooth consistency of meat. So just make sure you're chopping up, whether you're using a wooden spoon, a spatula, whatever it is that you're using, just chop it up. And so also, we're going to add in, I'm going to add in my minced garlic. I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon, oh Lord, 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. I'm going to say mine is going to be a heaping tablespoon, y'all, because I love minced garlic. I'm going to put that in there. And now I'm about to add in those jalapenos that I cut up. Like I said, you don't have to add jalapenos in yours if you don't want to. That's totally just, you know, a preference thing. You don't have to add those in. And also, those peppers aren't going to be hot either. Just because we took the seeds out. We took the seeds and the rib out. And that's where all the hotness lays, is in those seeds. I wish y'all could smell this though. Oh my God, I wish you could smell it. It does smell so freaking good. This smells so good. This smells good. It really does. And now I'm going to add in those 3 green scallions that I cut up. And you want to keep the green parts and everything. But this is 3 of them. And so I'm going to add that in here as well. Oh, Jesus, it smells good. I am not playing with y'all. It really does. And once I get this all browned, we're going to add in 2 cups of water, and then we're going to add ketchup as well in there. About a tablespoon of ketchup. Now you can add that in there right now if you want to, but I'm going to just wait until I get all this meat brown, and then we're going to add that in when we add the water. Y'all, I swear to goodness, this smells so good. It really does. Oh my gosh, it's like all those flavors is just like, they just run around in my nose like, Jesus. These are going to be so good. I have not had these in a while either, so I'm like, my mouth is watering for these. I promise you it is. And also, like I said, I'm going to do some with some cheese as well. I think I might have told you guys. I didn't show you guys the cheese, but I like to do them with cheese too. And then I'm having like a couple friends over shortly. So I'm going to do a couple of them with some cheese. And just some of that processed cheese. So I'm going to just add a couple of those. So I'll show you guys that as well. But you don't have to put cheese in them if you don't want to. You know, I say this is your stuff. You do what you want to do. I'm trying to stop cussing. Can y'all tell? I'm trying to stop, y'all. I am. I'm trying to stop. I'm like, it's 2019. Ain't nobody got time for that. Just go ahead and stop it, T. Just stop it. So y'all got to, you know, pray with me. Pray for me. Pray at me. Something. But I'm really trying to stop cussing. I am, because I'm like, you know, my little cooking show that I have out here. I want to be able to, look at my dog barking at. I want to be able to have, like, you know, a family be able to watch it with their kids. And if I'm on here just cussing, Lord have mercy, that's just so bad. That's not a good thing. So, you know, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna really try, y'all. Okay, so that has gotten brown. Y'all see that? Can you see that? Look at that. Can you smell that, though? OMG. Y'all, that smells awesome. So I'm about to get my 2 cups of water. So I have 2 cups of water right here. And I have some ketchup. Like I said, I did forget to tell you guys about the ketchup. It's all one of those. So we're going to put some ketchup in there. I would say about a tablespoon or 2. I'm just going to, what I'm doing, y'all, come on, eyeballing it. So, gonna just squeeze some in there. Gonna add that water in too. So I'll say about a tablespoon. You can add more, it's up to you. And everybody's taste buds, like I said, they're all different. And now we're gonna pour those 2 cups of water right on in there, because now we want this to come to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, then we're gonna turn that down, and we want that water to cook out of it. And once that happens, you're gonna let it cool off a little bit, and then we'll start with the pastries. We'll get to the good part. My friend's gonna be excited. I didn't tell them what I was making, and well, one of them I did. One of my homegirls, I did tell her what I was making, and I cannot believe she's never had a Jamaican patty. I'm like, what? You never had a Jamaican patty? Can't believe she never had fried ribs. I know y'all had fried ribs before, right? Because come on. I'm like, oh no. And I'm from New York, y'all. And my parents were from down south, but I thought, not being funny, but I thought all black folks had fried ribs. I'm like, okay, go figure. But I'm going to do a video with that. I'm going to fry some ribs too, because those are awesome. I like them smothered in some onion gravy. Oh, yes, Lord. So we're going to go ahead and let that cook down. I'm going to let that boil down for a little bit until I get all of it's boiling. You see how it's just right now it's kind of on one side. I want the whole pot to start bubbling up. And then I'm going to turn that down to about a 5 and just let it cook on medium so I can get that water out. All right. Well, actually, I'm going to let it boil. I'm going to let this go on high though, because it's on high heat right now. I'm going to let this go for about 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, I'm going to turn that down and then I'll put it on medium. And then I'll come back once this all cooks down. All right. I'll be back, you guys. Hey guys, so we're back and this is almost reduced down. So I wanted to show you guys what it's looking like. So this is it. It's still on high. And I had it on high now for about 10 to about 12 minutes or so. And I only have it on high is just because I'm able to stand here and watch it while I'm in the kitchen. But like I said, if you're not going to be able to be around your meat while it's cooking, don't keep it on high. Put it on like medium high, medium or something, you know, because it won't take very long for the water to cook out while it's on high. So it's almost all cooked out. And so I'm just going to give it a little bit more just to finish cooking all that liquid out of there. And we're almost ready to get to making these Jamaican patties, y'all. Yes, ma'am. Come on, come walk with me, y'all. Okay, everybody, so we're back, and I finished letting this cook down, and this is what we're left with. Now, I've seen, like, some videos, you know, out there in recipes where people use breadcrumbs in it. I guess to help act as a binder. I'm not sure. But I don't use breadcrumbs when I make mine. So, you know, if that's something that you do and you're used to, then I guess you can implement it into this recipe as well. But that's just not how I make them. But this is the meat, y'all, and I tasted it, and it is really, really good. So now I'm about to take that dough out of the refrigerator, and we're about to get to rolling that stuff on up, making these Jamaican patties. Yes, guys, yes. And we're back, and I just took that dough out the refrigerator, and I'm letting my pastry filling, my ground beef filling, I'm letting it cool off some. But this is it right here. Let me get it out this bowl. This is it. You want to put some flour down on your workspace. Put some flour on there. And I'm going to get some flour out this bag. I'll be having flour all over the place. Any old ways, y'all. Put some on my hands so that way it don't stick. And I'm going to cut this ball right down the middle. I'm just going to cut this down the middle. Because I'm not rolling this whole ball into one. So I'm going to cut this down the middle, and then I'm going to cut it again, like to make like 4 quarters, basically. And I just have parchment paper on my countertop, just because I'm known to have flour all over the place. It sure will. It's going to be everywhere. Then I'm just going to cut this one in half too. And I'm using a freaking butter knife though. Because I'm actually, when we roll these out, and I'm going to put a bowl over it, you'll see. And I'm going to use a butter knife to just go ahead and cut the excess off. So let me move move these 3 out the way. So you have your pastry. See that? It's like that Play-Doh stuff them kids be playing with, or that putty. So it's gonna take my rolling pin and I'm just gonna roll it out. Now too, if you don't have a rolling pin, and I've done this when my kids were little and I wanted to make like pizza pockets or something for them. I had a glass jar, and you put some flour on that glass jar and it's gonna work out. It's gonna work just the same. Put some flour on the outside of that glass jar and keep it moving, boo. Sure did. So now we just want to roll this. Go forward. Gotta every way. Turn it. Go the other way. Goodness. Now I'm sure it'll probably work, you know, if you just put it on your counter. But I'm not trying to get all that flour all over my counter. I'm going to have it on there enough anyways. I'm trying to roll this wide enough so that I could put that bowl on there. I'm just going to keep rolling it the way that you want it to spread out. You're almost there. Get a fork too. I forgot to get a fork. And so now what I'm going to do is that. I'm going to get this bowl and sit this bowl right here on there and press down. Because now we're going to make that shape. Just this big old circle. And then you just cut around it to get that excess off of it. It's cut all around the edge. Take that on off of there, and we can still use this too to make another one, you know, because you're gonna have some left over from the other ones, so you can use that as well. And then that's where that shape comes in, right? Let me pause that for a minute because I'm gonna get some water and I'm gonna get a fork. Okay, y'all, we're back, and I have my water. I have a little bit of water, and I also got an egg because I'm gonna do an egg wash on top. But here's that pastry we cut out, right? Let me get some of this meat. And you want to let it cool some. It's still a little warm, but as long as it's not really real hot, but it is still a little bit warm. So just gonna get yourself like some filling. Put some filling down in there. You know, like a couple tablespoonfuls, I'm sorry, on half of that. And you want to spread it out. You want to lay it down in the middle, like on one half of that pastry dough. Now my husband greedy, so I'll be trying to, you know, put a good bit in there because he eat a lot. So then now we're going to just fold this over. I'm going to fold it over. Oh, you know what? My bad. Because that's where my water come in. It's going to wet my fingers. Put it around down here. Then I'm going to fold that over. Just to close it up. You just want it closed like that. And then you're going to take your fork. Once you make sure it's all sealed up around the edges. See, now let me pick it up real quick. You want to make sure that it's sealed all around the edges. See how it's sealed up? Make sure it's sealed all around. Hopefully y'all can see that. But you want to make sure that it's all sealed up. And now we're just going to take this fork and just press down. Because that's where you're going to get those, you know, the little, those little marks that they have in those Jamaican patties. And you just want to go around. Just press and pull. Not really hard. You don't have to push down real hard. Jesus Christ, that scared the hell out of me. My water bottle just popped. I almost ran, y'all. It's about to be gone. And you want to make sure you don't poke holes into this part. Just pushing it on the edge. And there we go. There's one of them. There's one. And two, while you're doing this, you want to preheat your oven for 350 while you're doing that. Let me get my pan so I can put that on there. But you want to preheat your oven for 350. So I'm going to put this one on here on this pan. And if you haven't preheated your oven, you want to just sit those in the refrigerator while your oven is preheating. You don't want to leave those out like that. Okay, let's go ahead and get another one made. Move some of this stuff out the way. A little bit more flour down here. Some flour on that. Let's just roll this on out. Oh, I'm making a mess. Me and flour, y'all, in the kitchen, don't work out so well. Just want to pick it up and move it. Yep, these would be nice. And when you make these as well too, if you make more than enough, or if you just want to make some and you don't want to eat all of the ones that you make, you can put them in the freezer. Put them in the freezer bag. Make sure you get all the air and stuff out of them. And there you go. You can warm them up, you know, in the oven and eat them another day. You don't even have to cook those right now. You can definitely freeze them, because I've done that before. And again, we're going to get our bowl. Place our bowl right on there like so. And push it down. And then we're just going to cut around the edges. Get that off. Take that off. Gonna put some meat in there. This meat came out really good. And also, you guys, it's not spicy. Even though you saw that jalapeno that I put in there, it's not spicy at all. I can't even taste any type of spice in there whatsoever, like at all. And this one, oh, let me get some cheese, because I said I was going to show y'all with some cheese. This just to show you guys, but this is just some of that processed Kraft cheese singles. And I'm just gonna break it in half. Just lay it right on in there. Now you can put whatever you want to put into these. Wet my fingers, just go around the fronts of it. Fold it over. And you want to make sure that they're sealed up. Okay, so we just finishing up. I'm sorry about that, y'all. My homegirl here, say hey. Hey! So we're just going to finish up this one. So like I said, you don't want to punch the holes. And this is one, like I said, you never had a Jamaican patty, Melinda.
No.
They are good, girl. They are
Looking good.
I know.
Good.
I was telling them, I'm like, I wish they could smell them. So I'm just showing them here how to close them up. So this is how they look when you buy them in the store. So you just pushing around the edge like that. But then that is it. Closed all up. Look at that. Awesome.
Get it, girl.
I know. I'm like, come through, come through.
Betty Cross.
So I'm going to show y'all in a minute. We're going to let that oven finish preheating and we're going to get those in the oven. And I'm going to show you with the egg wash before I put them in the oven. Okay, guys. So we're all done closing those up. And this is what they look like. I made a big one. That one's for my husband, you know. So what I'm going to do now is with that egg that I had, I just mixed up the egg a little bit. Just wanted to beat it a little bit with the fork. And I'm just going to brush some egg on top. Just go ahead and brush some of that on top like that. Don't need a lot. Just brush some all over the top of it. And we're going to put those in a preheated oven at 350 until those are done. Now, everybody's ovens are different, so you just want to watch it until it gets nice and golden brown. Once it's golden brown, you're going to know it's done. So I'm going to say between 10 and 20 minutes it'll take. So we got those tops all brushed up. And I'm going to put those in the oven, and once they come out, I'm going to show you guys what they look like. We're going to cut those open. Hey everybody, yes. I just took these awesome Jamaican patties out the oven. Like I said, we had those on for 350, and I had them in the oven for like 20 minutes. They're kind of hot still because I just took them out, so hopefully I can put one of these. I'm going to put it on, shoot, that's hot. I'm going to put it on a plate, and I'm going to cut that one. But yeah, this is how they look. These are hot. They're hot. This one is big. It's big, but that's how they look. So let me cut this one open. Let me move this. Goodness gracious. Make sure y'all can see this. It's really hot, really hot. So if you guys put cheese in them too, I would suggest letting those cool off for a little while before you try biting into one of these, because I want to bite it, but I'm definitely not finna bite this. Not at all. Okay, this is the one that doesn't have the cheese in it. There you go. Look at all that. That looks so good. Oh, it's kind of hot. Let me see if I can bring it up here. It's kind of hot. Jesus. But you can see what it looks like inside. Hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and if you make this, you have to let me know what you guys think about it. But that's just tea, y'all, making Jamaican patties, y'all. I hope y'all have an awesome, blessed, and I hope you guys forever stay blessed. And thank you all so very much for your support and all your kind words, on all of my content that I'm putting out there. I appreciate you guys. And even, the people that are watching it that might not comment, I appreciate y'all too. I really do. Y'all have a nice day. Thank you guys. It's just tea.